Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Frank, and today I want to teach you how to add flickering LEDs to really anything you want. This is actually going to be a little bit of a short one, and it was originally going to be vlog style, but I decided against it because I actually want the proper titles and I want to get this out there and teach you guys a little bit more. So there are going to be some cuts. It's going to be a tutorial. So it's Halloween, and I always see these little flicker candle LEDs around, and someone on Instagram turned them on to me. I cannot for the life of me remember who, but he actually put them in one of his Mark 50 Iron Man helmets to actually give the LED eye a little bit of a flicker effect. And it works absolutely beautifully. And I was at the store and I saw these. I grabbed 10 of them. I'm actually about to go and buy more. They're like 50 cents each, and they are absolutely perfect for this. They're so perfect, in fact, I was actually able to incorporate them into my power orb. And yes, there's a tutorial coming out for this, as well as how I'm able to turn it on and off by just positioning it differently, completely wirelessly. But that's for another time. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that one. Make sure it's off. Cool, awesome. So flicker LEDs. These things are super simple. And actually, if you just kind of pry them open, you'll be left with this. This is the little circuit that's actually sitting in there. And I can actually just turn this on by sliding the switch. And that's all it is. It's the little LED sitting in there. It's the tiny little circuit. It's just a switch that's moving the little prong to the left and right. And then there's a little battery inside. And we can deconstruct this even more. And here is the LED, and here is the battery. So if I actually go and position this properly, let's see if I can do this with one hand. So now it's touching both sides, and you can see the flicker LED working. Now we can get into the science of how a flicker LED works, and it's actually really complicated. Basically, there's a tiny little chip in there between the anode and the cathode, basically what makes the LED, and it's all this randomness, and there's actually a lot of mathematics going on inside that little chipset to kind of simulate this random LED flicker. But all you need to know is that it's actually this perfectly tiny self-contained LED, and it's a 3-volt LED because that's a 3-volt battery. And you can wire this into any 3-volt system, or you can, go up and down in voltages as long as you're putting the proper resistors on it. But it just happens to turn out that the LED cosplay eyes that we use are actually ran off of a 3-volt battery system. So this 3-volt battery pack, it's 2 AAA batteries, puts out the same voltage as this tiny battery. Obviously this battery won't last as long, so we can't really, it's A or B, but we're able to substitute and add this LED into the system and literally swap it out for the LEDs that are powering our little LED cosplay eyes. And if you guys want to see a tutorial on how these work, that's another tutorial on the channel. I'll link that down below on how to install these. But all I did was gut out 2 of these little flickering LEDs and swapped them into my helmet. Now with this little module and having a little battery consolidated in it, you can actually go and put this in almost anything. This could fit very compact in a lot of different props. You can even incorporate the switch into it and have it sticking out the bottom. So this is actually just a handy little module to have. And like I said, I want to go get more of these. But if I take off the mask right here, you're actually going to see on the inside, it was a little bit of a hack job. This is just a display prop. I can make this clean all day, but I have one of the flicker LEDs sitting right there. And let me see if I can zoom in on it. And I had to position it ever so carefully because it is a different size. I actually ended up cutting out a little bit of the LED eye, and it is this cracked LED eye, so I don't really care if it breaks. And then you can see the other one, because it's not as bright and it isn't getting the same effect as the full solid eye, I actually positioned 2 in there to kind of backshine and backlight on the LED system, or on the lens system. So when then I go and actually click this in, it gives it power back to it. And again, I have tutorials on how to make the LED, the magnetic mask, and how to make the tabs and do the whole wireless faceplate. So what it does is, since I'm using 2, they're actually both out of sync. So you can see the left and right side flickering in different patterns. So that even adds more to the effect. And I can mess around and position these LEDs a little bit differently. But that's, that's totally up to you how you want to do that. And then if we look inside, we can actually see the flicker LEDs working a little bit better. And you can see that they're not in sync. They're completely randomized. And all I did was kind of cut them and add them into that circuit. And it's more than enough to power them, the battery pack that's actually powering this battle damaged helmet. And this is my personal battle damage helmet. I haven't actually shown this on YouTube yet, I don't think. You guys have only seen it in the background. But this one I am not getting rid of. This isn't for sale. This isn't a giveaway. That one's mine. So all you'd have to do for this is strip back the positive and negative wire on any of the LED circuits you have and simply add in this LED system. And it's super easy. If you hook it up to the positive and negative and it doesn't work right away, flip it. You probably just have it backwards. That's what's nice about LED systems, is they're very hard to wire up wrong, because if they don't work one way, you flip them and install them the other way. Now you don't need to use these Cosplay LED eyes. What I was actually able to do with this power orb over here is actually self-contain the entire power system hidden inside the orb, utilizing the little watch battery or little coin battery. Now give me a second to actually take this apart and I'll show you the internals of this. So all I have to do is actually just pry this out, and it's actually not that hard, and if it takes a little bit of damage, that's fine, because it makes it look a little more authentic. And then if I pull this internal gutted part out, you can actually see I kind of burned a little bit of a hole in there because it was a pretty thick shell. And this is actually the entire system right here. And then on the back is where I have all of the action going on. So right there, I tucked the battery into a little cavity that was on the back of the prop. And then I just ran the wires. I ran the LED to the inside, and this is actually just a magnet sitting on top of the LED. And then I can just pop this out, and then you can see the LED sitting right in there, and then the stone just has a magnet on the back. But what's cool is I used a reed switch, and I've talked about this in some other videos, but I've never utilized it like this. Now, typically you don't want to use a reed switch in circuit, in series with voltage, but this is so low voltage, I'm not worried about it. Now, what's cool about a reed switch is when you put it near a magnet that's actually sitting at the top of the stand, it actually activates the LED. Let me back up a little bit so you can see. So no voltage can get through that reed switch until I actually put it near a magnet and it detects the magnetism. So the whole circuit's here, but the trigger is magnetic. So you can use this in a multitude of ways. Now, if you're doing anything more than just a simple standard dinky LED, you're gonna need to use a relay system, and we'll talk about that in another video. But if it's just one solid standard 3-volt LED, you really should have no problem actually activating it with a magnet. And the magnet is so strong, it's a nice neodymium magnet, that it has absolutely no problem working through the plastic. But you're going to want to test this out. This is the same system I have in the fingers of my gloves from my Mark 85 over there, and it's the same system. I have a magnet in the thumb, and then the reed switches are in the fingers, and it lets me open and close the faceplate, turn the infinity stones and the LEDs on and off. So that's the same method, and depending on how I position this, it activates the reed switch just perfectly. Now you can have these all enclosed reed switches. I think I got a pack of 10 for like $5 or $7. I don't remember. They were super cheap. They're super easy to use. Just be careful. They are a little brittle, so if you play with them too much, they can break. But using this, you can have the little flicker LED, or really any LED you want. It doesn't need to be a flickering on-off LED. It's really, the sky's the limit. But you can utilize and create a circuit and then have a magnet, you know, and utilize it in any way. But I really wanted to just talk about the flickering LEDs and how you can use them, and how it's just this perfectly self-contained little system. And that little coin battery does slide right out from there. I was able to actually contain the wires, so they're actually pinching the top and bottom of it. So all I have to do is get some tweezers, pull the battery out, throw it back in, and it's pretty easy to change. Go get creative with this stuff, guys. Really, half of the time I'm just experimenting and I'm walking around stores just trying to find stuff. And Halloween and Christmas are great for this type of stuff, because you can get these little, just absolutely garbage throwaway toys and little decorations that you can utilize and stuff like this. There's no programming, there's no Arduinos, there's nothing going on here except a new LED wired in series, and you get that effect. Now you can code that to an Arduino, but now I don't need to. I hope that was an okay explanation, guys. I know it was a little short. I didn't like show you how to wire the stuff in. I have other videos for that. It's literally just replacing. You splice the wires back, you twist them on, you solder them on. There's tons of other ways you can do it. It's literally just adding the circuit. If you follow my Cosplay LED eye tutorial, you know, that'll help you kind of install the eyes or just some circuitry. But it's just a really cool little thing you can kind of incorporate into your props or your displays. This just adds a little bit more depth to it, and I just really wanted to show you that, guys. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, if you want me to expand on something, please leave a comment below. Let me know in the comments below, and just I'll see what I can do. Please don't ask me to elaborate more on the power orb. I am making a video for this. I'm actually making a video on all of the Infinity Stone props and conduits and holders, so please stay tuned for that. This thing is really cool, and making it was fun. I did just give a little bit of it away, but it gives you something to look forward to, so I'm fine with that. If you guys haven't already, if you could subscribe, that'd be really cool. We just recently cleared 10,000, and I'm super excited about that. We're doing a special live stream this Sunday, and I'm really excited. So thank you everybody for all the support. I can't thank you guys enough. So like really, this has been absolutely great. Go check out the Discord if you haven't. There's a link for that down below. It's free. It's a whole cosplay, prop, nerd, 3D printing community. So it's definitely crucial. And I think that just about does it, guys. I have nothing left to plug. Again, comments, questions, concerns, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good day.